Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to share my go-to camera setup when I go out with friends and family. First, I'm going to be talking about my use case in that I'm primarily going to be using this for candid photos as well as some staged photos. There will probably be some situations where a faster aperture would be very nice. I'd be looking for a versatile focal length as well as having a small and light form factor. In terms of candid photos, this setup's going to be photography first, and it doesn't do as well in video. In being a tighter focal length, video will have to be more intentional. So it's still possible, however, I mostly only use this for photos. I find that in social settings, it seems less jarring when someone's taking photos versus video, as it's mostly more socially accepted. I also don't want to take too much time away from the activities we're actually going to be doing, so I take a documentary approach when taking photos. And I'm not as of yet at that age where I'll have a lot of kids running around me, so I don't have to worry about chasing after fast moving subjects, of which I'd probably switch to a zoom lens for. Using a fast aperture, it's great for spontaneous excursions because it just offers so much more versatility. And this setup is something you can just grab and go and not have to worry about, especially because a faster aperture allows you to shoot indoors a lot easier. Along with that, it handles sunset and blue hour a lot easier, so you don't have to bump your ISO as high. I also really like it because it allows me to get better background separation from my subject and gives me that sweet, sweet bokeh, which is just better than a compact 1-inch point-and-shoot camera or even just a APS-C camera. I just wish that the coatings were a little bit better in backlit situations, as the contrast is mostly lost when you have a backlit situation. In having a versatile focal length, I probably would have went somewhere along the lines of 35 to 50 millimeter, just because the working distance is a lot smaller, and if I am in a tight situation indoors, then most times I'll be able to take a couple steps back. And with this lens in particular and having a closer minimum focus distance, this means that I can get closer to my subject if I do want to capture some detail shots, since the minimum focus distance is just 1 foot. Because this is a prime lens, I don't have to worry as much about zooming in and out, and it just takes one equation away, allowing me to only use my feet for subject isolation and composition. Being a lightweight and compact setup, this lens and body combo has a really nice balance. It really almost doesn't feel like you have a lens on the body at all, just because the body is quite chunky in comparison to the lens, and the lens only weighing in at 159 grams. Now, specifically with the Canon version of this 51.8, it's traditionally been the lightest and most compact 51.8 amongst its competitors. And being so light and compact makes it non-obtrusive for things that I'll be out doing. I normally bring a Peak Design leash attached to this camera setup because it allows me to just sling it on my body, and for those shots where I do want to just place the camera and take a couple photos, for example in group photos, I use the strap as some material to prop up the camera and just put it on the ground. And here are some examples of those photos. Some of the final thoughts of this setup include this lens being so cheap makes me not so afraid to lose it. Certainly the body is something I have to worry about, but with the lens being so small, it's definitely less eye-catching to thieves, especially if you're in a touristy area. The EOS R body isn't as cheap, however, there is an EOS RP that would probably be better suited for this situation and would really pair nicely with the Canon 50mm 1.8. Using the EOS R with the 51.8, it's really nice to not have to think about the battery not getting through an entire day of casual shooting. However, I believe the RP's battery would definitely be fine, and if anything, I would just bring an extra battery. I do think that as a more casual shooting experience, the RP might be better suited for just going out and about, and I've also been considering about getting it as a B cam, so we'll see if I end up actually picking one up. So that concludes my thoughts on the Canon EOS R and 51.8 as a go-to out and about excursion setup. Please let me know what you guys think about this setup and what you guys use on your own. I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to hit the thumbs up below, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.